Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption. Hello everybody, Militia Man and Crew. I just want to say hello. Welcome to the afternoon show that we're having, and I hope you guys have been paying attention. Thank you for all your kind comments in Patreon. I really appreciate that you guys enjoy the content. I think that many of you are seeing that the reality is really setting in, because you can't deny what's being out in the print, and it's really powerful. Okay, but here's a government advisor, and you guys know that I kind of like Mohammed Saleh. He's an advisor to the Prime Minister. He has it says here, partnerships with international finance reflect confidence in the Iraqi investment environment. We've all been talking about the confidence that's needed for Iraq. And they've been building that confidence for the last 2 to 3 years. And it's showing, for the last couple of weeks, it's been intense. It's been great. It's been really good. So the Prime Minister's advisor affirms on Saturday the partnership signed with International Finance Corporation. You guys realize that that's an arm of the World Bank. Represent a strategic step towards diversifying the economy and enhancing international direct investment. He points out that these partnerships reflect the international corporations' confidence in the Iraq investment environment and open new horizons for developing non-oil sectors. The private sector is the non-oil. He goes on and says the conference held today in Baghdad, which was yesterday, under the title of Partnership Day between the International Finance Corporation and the Iraqi government, with the attendance of Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, is an important strategic step towards diversifying the Iraqi economy and enhancing international direct investment. It says the International Financial Corporation, one of the World Bank's arms, dedicated to financing and partnering with the private sector in various countries around the world, including Iraq, demonstrated through this conference is clear confidence in the Iraqi investment environment, which is a positive indicator for international investors. It's going to be a key component. And obviously, if international investors are full of confidence, it's going to be a good thing. It says linking the activities of the international institution with Iraq private sector represents a qualitative shift in the government's economic policy and enhances the openness of national investments to global financial institutions, contributing to diversifying the economy's resources and providing it with expertise and partnerships with the most important international economic centers. It says the conference witnessed the signing of multi-million-dollar partnership contracts. So we're not just talking about understandings, we're talking about contracts in various fields that will contribute to job creation, infrastructure improvement, and increased local production. These partnerships are expected to generate direct financial returns for the non-oil sector through 7 important investment contracts, including projects in gas, renewable energy, and agriculture. It says the international institution does not only provide financing, but also combines it with expertise in management, implementation, international standards, which will raise the level of projects in Iraq to a world-class level. I think you're going to see one of these comments is going to be talking about elite banking too. Isn't that great? It says this approach will enhance growth in industrial services, transportation, communications, port sectors, provide additional resources for taxes, customs duties, and utility operating revenues, thus contributing to diversifying sources of revenue away from oil monopoly. I think you're going to find today that you're going to hear something to the effect that their non-oil GDP is going to be increased by about 1%. Anyway, they're doing what they said they were going to do. Under their patronage attendance of Prime Minister Shia al-Sudani, they call it a celebration of International Finance Corporation's partnership with Iraq was held in Baghdad. Coincides with the 20th anniversary of the corporation's presence in partnerships with Iraqi sectors. And it goes on and tells you that they have a contract in associated gas at the port facilities in Qasr and the Basra Gas Company worth about $500 million. Another one is the expansion of a field of cement and port facilities with Basra Gas Company, same thing, $500 million. Another one, expansion of the field of cement and lubricants production, Al Muhaidib group worth 250 million, and they subsequently dropped from 125 million, 65 million, 10 million. Ultimately, what are we talking about? They're about $1 billion. Okay, that's what these guys are coming in to do. They're not going to put up $1 billion just for fun. Obviously, Iraq has shown them the confidence that they need, and the World Bank's arm for the private sector is putting their money where their mouth is. And then also, it comes out from the central bank. It's a guide to access financing for medium and small and micro enterprises in Iraq. Well, we all know that small, medium enterprises, micro enterprises, they basically are going to be the backbone of Iraq's future economy. And that's a really powerful thing. They have a financial inclusion seminar. One of the things that they talk about is the QR code. It says unified controls, about 1 trillion dinars initiative to finance these large, medium, and small projects. And there's a bulletin on the CBI's website. And you have to ask yourself, well, what does some of this mean? And the implications are in line with Iraq's push towards integration into the global financial system. Iraq was removed from the gray list back in 2018. This is and has been an ongoing process, and now the central bank has 46 trained people in financial crimes in banks and non-financial institutions. My assumption is that there's going to be more education as they go, but at this stage of the game, they've got 46 people trained out in this whole thing. Here's a snippet. It says the Central Bank of Iraq's recent training course on financial crimes in banks and non-bank financial institutions is directly related to Iraq's broader efforts to integrate into the global financial system. The integration involves aligning Iraq's banking sector in international standards for transparency, compliance, and risk management, particularly in anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism. Okay, it's basically going to facilitate better access to global correspondent banking, attract foreign investment, and support economic diversification beyond oil. So it just ties in. That's why they had trained those people. There's a focus on anti-money laundering law and compliance. They had a course already back in September, well, on the 10th, and it had to deal with international financial standards that was set by bodies like the Financial Action Task Force, which is the FATF. It says the date, so that the FATF's gray list, they were removed back in June 2018. It says in 2025, Iraq has accelerated financial modernization, including launching the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, which is the NFIS, and that's going to be for 2025 through 2029. It talks about they expand the digital financial services, issuing back in 2024 digital payment regulation to align with global norms. So they've been working on this. Undertaking a major banking sector overhaul with international consultants. There was a UN address in May of 2025 that highlighted these steps toward integration of Iraq into the global banking system for sustainable development. Additionally, Iraq's recent accession to the European Bank of Reconstruction Development, the EBRD, in early of September 2025, underscores its commitment to financial modernization and attracting global capital. And interesting point here, it says, is it a part of the final steps for integration? And it's basically, yes, it's plausible that this course represents one of the final steps in Iraq's integration push. While Iraq achieved the FATF delisting years ago, full global integration in 2025 hinges on institutionalizing compliance to sustain trust with international partners, especially amid the decline in the private sector, deposits, etc. But it says training 46 bank employees across institutions builds the human capital needed for effective anti-money laundering law implementation. It goes on and says expanding electronic payments with fintech. Basically, it says the CBI's Al-Samawal campaign was launched September 1st, 2025. Basically securing 250 billion targeted investments by 2027 through economic diversification. Mitigating risks from regional tensions and oil dependency, as noted by the IMF's July 2025 Article 4 consultation, which projects non-oil GDP growth, but warns of financial gaps and stronger financial systems. But anyway, it says such targeted skill development ensures Iraq handle increased cross-border transactions as it deepens ties with global institutions like the EBRD and the IMF. If similar initiatives continue, they could help finalize the shift to a more resilient, integrated financial ecosystem in 2025. We're already getting into late 2025. Okay, so interesting that how things are coming around, and it's interesting in Patreon you guys see that we've talked about all those things that I just talked about. These articles have been in our room, and they've subsequently they have come to pass, and they're still relevant to this day of what's taken place and what's been done. Iraq has been pushing forward for global integration. Here's this article. This is a powerful article, and it's got a lot to it. It's going to be lengthy, but the bottom line is, and it's my last one, but it's the longest one. The governor of the Central Bank of Iraq meets with the governor of the Bank of England. His Excellency, the Governor, Mohsen Al-Alaq, met with the Governor of the Bank of England, Mr. Andrew Bailey, at the bank's headquarters in London. The meeting addressed the historical relationships between the two banks and ways of cooperation in supporting the efforts of the Iraqi government and the Central Bank of Iraq in the field of digital transformation, benefiting the Bank of England's experience in modernizing its paper currency. I like it. Modernizing its paper currency and its studies on digital currencies. Remember back in February, Al-Alaq talked about launching a digital dinar. So here they're talking about it with another central bank. His Excellency also touched on the relationship between the two sides in the field of foreign reserve management. Foreign reserves. Who's going to manage their foreign reserves? Iraq's got 100 billion plus foreign reserves. And we might find that they're going to have a lot more. But we'll see how that turns out. Estimates can be anywhere from 400 to 500 million, a billion. We'll see what happens. His Excellency Al-Alaq called on Mr. Bailey to support the Central Bank of Iraq's efforts to join the Bank of International Settlements in Switzerland. Now, the Bank of International Settlements is being invoked, talking about that, the central bank of central banks. Okay, given that the Bank of England is a member of the aforementioned bank's board of directors, so the Bank of England, who Mr. Bailey represents, is a member of the board of directors from the Bank of International Settlements, and Al-Alaq's talking to this gentleman. The implications of this article supports final push towards full integration into the global financial system. It's fully underway. I would expect to see Iraq getting approval to join the Bank of International Settlements. I think they had a meeting, the last meeting was in June 29th. But you know, sometimes these guys are very quiet about what they're doing, especially if it's very sensitive. So it's plausible they could already have that ready to go. They just haven't told us yet. Anyway, that's interesting. But here's a snippet for that article. It says, this article about the meeting of Iraq's central bank governor and dated today, 14/2025, is indeed a strong indicator of Iraq's ongoing push towards deeper integration into the global financial system. It's particularly promising because it highlights high-level bilateral cooperation, practical financial linkages like reserve management, those 100 billion or more. And it's a direct call for support in joining the Bank for International Settlements. Bank of International Settlements is BIS, a key international institution that could mark a significant milestone in Iraq's financial normalization. Direct relation to global financial integration. The meeting underscores Iraq's strategic efforts to align with international standards and build partnerships with major central banks, which is essential for reintegrating into the global system after decades of isolation due to sanctions, conflicts, and compliance issues. Some of the elements that are involved: historical ties, collaboration on digital transformation, the discussion on the leveraging of the Bank of England's experience in updating paper currency and exploring digital currencies, e.g. central bank digital currencies or CBDCs, shows Iraq seeking technical expertise to modernize its financial infrastructure. It goes on and says, this aligns with Iraq's 2025 initiatives such as the National Financial Inclusion 2025-2029, and it says, which aims to boost digital payments and financial access from 40% to higher levels by prohibiting cash in government transactions from June of 2025. Such reforms reduce cash dependency, enhance transparency, and facilitate cross-border digital transactions that are critical for global integration. It talks about monetary policy success and stability. It underlines that inflation is low, less than 2%, which basically is a stability component, a prerequisite for international trust, as noted by the IMF's Article 4 consultation, where they praise the CBI for modernizing the banking system and transitioning trade finance to commercial banks via correspondent bank relationships. I talked about this the other night, and that's exactly what they're doing. I just didn't catch it this morning. Yeah, that's why we're able to probably adjust the back wall somewhat for the banks for September 30th with Oliver Wyman. It's that specific thing, commercial banks via correspondent banks. So some of those banks that don't have relationships directly with commercial banks, or they can go through via correspondent banks to get to those commercial banks for international trade. Fascinating, brilliant idea too. Stable prices and effective policy transmission help attract foreign investment and support non-oil GDP, projected at 1% for 2025, despite oil revenue challenges. Back to the foreign reserve management. It says that the explicit mention that Iraq holds part of its foreign reserves in the Bank of England's vaults demonstrates an existing operational link to the G7 central bank, which is a practical step in global integration, allowing Iraq to manage its 100+ billion reserves more securely and efficiently. It builds on post-2022 reforms where all bank transfers now processed through CBI platform in cooperation with the Federal Reserve of the United States, marking Iraq's re-entry into global systems after frozen assets and sanctions. It also suggests that it's not just a diplomatic effort. It's about actionable support for Iraq's banking overhaul, including restructuring state-owned banks like Rafidain. It goes on and says, who have been advised by the consultants from Oliver Wyman and Ernst & Young. And it says the mention of BIS, what is it? It's a promising step towards elite global status. Isn't that interesting? I love this stuff. The articles highlight Al-Alaq's call for Bailey's support in Iraq's bid to join the BIS in Switzerland is especially encouraging. The BIS, often called the Central Bank for Central Banks, has 63 members and basically talking about fostering monetary financial cooperations, Basel Accords, all of those things. It talks about membership would give the CBI access to a BIS research forums, settlement services, enhancing Iraq's credibility and able to handle international transactions. It also has here, it says the IMF 2025 consultations also urged accelerating financial system strengthening, including the AML CFT compliance, which is vital for the BIS entry. They've got all that stuff done. So this is pretty powerful. What is promising as a final step? Joining the BIS could be one of the culminating achievements in Iraq's integration roadmap, alongside full correspondent banking expansion in fintech and adoption, hence the e.g. the CBI's electronic payment campaigns. It would signal to investors and institutions like the IMF and the World Bank that Iraq's system is robust enough for deeper ties, potentially unlocking that $250 billion in targeted investments through 2027. Amid the 2025 challenges of declining oil revenues and project current account weakening, BIS membership could bolster reserve management and policy coordination, mitigating vulnerabilities noted in the IMF's reports. And towards the end here, it says that the overall assessment, very positive momentum that we're seeing. It's not just rhetoric, but evidence of Iraq leveraging relationships with established players like the UK to accelerate their reforms. Combined with the previous CBI training in financial crimes, builds on the AML capacity. It paints a picture of coordinated final steps. Capacity building, technical upgrades, institutional memberships, etc. If Iraq secures a BIS support, possibly via Bailey's influence at the next BIS board meeting, it could effectively finalize its shift to a resilient, globally connected financial ecosystem. A little bit more. Here's another snippet I have. It says expectations for launching the digital dinar. You guys remember back in 2020, early 2025. It Central Bank of Iraq, Moshan Alak, has indeed made several statements in 2025 signaling strong momentum toward launching a central bank digital currency, referred to as the digital dinar. This initiative is part of Iraq's broader digital transformation strategy, including the national financial inclusion thing we talked about already. Excuse me. Basically, those are efforts to reduce cash dependency. We've talked about all that. But basically, while there's no exact launch date for the the digital dinar, but back as of September 14th, as of today, I should say, expectations have evolved from planning to a pilot testing, while indications of near-term readiness. Here's a breakdown based on this. Initial announcement, February 26th, press conference, Al-Alaq revealed the CBI is actively developing a digital dinar to gradually replace paper notes in domestic and international transactions. He emphasizes its role in combating counterfeiting, improving financial inclusion, supporting a cashless economy with an expected rollout by mid-2025, around June or July. So they probably could already have gotten to a stage where they're ready, because this was expected in 2025. But this was positioned as a pilot phase integrated with existing digital payment systems like the CBI's electronic transfer platform, and follow-up details March 25th, 2025. Al-Alaq provides more specifics, stating the CBI would initiate testing of gold-backed digital dinars at state-owned Al-Rashid Bank in Baghdad, again targeting a mid-2025 pilot launch. So we don't know if they did that and if it was successful, but obviously months have gone by. He described it as a secure blockchain-based system to stabilize value and facilitate international commerce, syncing with global CBDC frameworks, those that have been explored by the BIS and the IMF. And if you guys remember the Agora project, we went over that a bunch of times already. And that's been in the process and in the works for a long time. We're talking years. And I'm pretty sure JP Morgan Chase was part of that. In fact, I know it was. And another company that's an arm of Ripple, by the way. All right. Mid-year progress, Al-Alaq reiterated the CBDCs like the digital dinar world play a pivotal role in Iraq's economic future, highlighting technical preparations and regulatory frameworks. And he noted that over 70 fintech entities had applied for licenses, underscoring infrastructure readiness. So there was 70 people working on these, 70 different companies vying for Iraq's digital currency. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Okay, recent updates, August to September. On August 9th statement, Al-Alaq outlined advances in secure electronic payment systems as a precursor to the digital dinar, including integration with international cards like Visa and MasterCard. See what I mean when I said we've been over all this stuff? But this is basically a collection of all the things that we've been over in the past. September 14th, which is today, the meeting with the Bank of England, Andrew Bailey, discussed and focused on the UK's experience with digital currencies, implying Iraq's project is in advanced study and implementation stages, but it's not yet launched. Could that be at any time? Well, they had a mid-rollout time frame in June and July, and they haven't done it yet. We'll see. And there was a September video update on digital banking, suggests behind-the-scenes progress towards global linkages, but no specific ready launch date has emerged publicly anyway. Not publicly. So the overall expectation remains that, what's it say? It says expectation remains mid to late 2025, and we've already been from mid to now we're in September, and so now we're getting into that late picture. Okay. Potentially starting with the pilot at Al-Rashid Bank, gold-backed. That's pretty intense. That's not what it says right here, but that we just went over that. Well, here it goes. It says delays could stem from testing gold backing mechanisms or aligning with IMF recommendations from the July 2025 Article 4 consultation, which praised the digitization drive but urged robust cybersecurity. If Al-Alaq's February timeline holds, the launch could be imminent in 2025. That's the word they say in print. in this particular case, especially as it ties into Iraq's push for BIS. It's an opinion, you guys. BIS membership in EBRD, a session to enable cross-border CBDC's interoperability. This would make a key final step in financial integration, reducing the parallel market distortions, and boosting non-oil exports. And you guys, as a sidebar, the EBRD accession has already been done. They did that quite a few months ago. So interconnectivity looks like it is happening. Basically, with Iraq became officially a member of the EBRD June 2025. Basically, it put 74 members, shareholder members, expanding the bank's operations in southern and eastern Mediterranean. Also, Iraq joins countries like Egypt, Jordan, and Morocco, who are working with the European Bank. Anyway, everything is focused in on reducing oil dependency and attracting another $250 billion in investments. So I don't know about you guys, but this weekend, that is really powerful information, that what I just went over. I fully believe that what we're seeing is an imminent situation with Iraq at some point in time. Obviously, we don't know what day that's going to be, what time. We don't know how much it's going to be, but we do believe that I do, and I hope you guys do too, is that our investment is really solid owning the Iraqi dinar. And that's why I keep giving you guys what I know, because I believe in what I own. And I hope you guys do as well. So thank you for being with us. If you like our content, hit the like button and subscribe. And thank you so much for your help keeping this channel going. And you can see where to do that in the details below. So thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much and have a great day.